We've run out of time.
If you guys take on
Listen up, folks. Let's move back. One lesson we've learned from multi-issues is they're more complex than single issues. The more people you have, the more complex the issues become. I noticed several groups were working well together. Several groups were having internal conflicts as to what they were going to be able to say to the other side. Did anybody actually come up with a resolution during this period of time? One group? What was your resolution? Two groups. Good. Tell us your resolution.
Okay. Yeah, you go.
We decided to share the cost with them. But in order to share the cost, we agree upon techniques that we can use to limit it, to decrease it. So
and what were those techniques?
Our inspection department should do more. So we decided to have two separate inspection departments and then increase our confidence level. Instead of 95%, we decided to go to 99%.
Ooh.
And then increase a little bit of the sample size we take so that what we have will be more reliable.
Okay, good.
And
good work. So you've solved the problem by figuring out what's wrong, right?
Yes.
So you got to figure out what's wrong before you can fix it. And if you let cost enter in too early in the project, you're not going to reach a resolution. You're going to fight over cost. So once you all got that, how did you address the cost issue?
Then we assume that by doing that we can limit the cost considerably, and then we say, okay, we will take 60% of it because we believe that if we do something like that, the cost will be very low. So 60% will be almost nothing for us.
Okay, good work. What about your group? Who wants to? Yeah.
Yeah, we came up with a problem was that the way we saw it was that there wasn't a standard, an overall standard for every day. The field standard, a different standard,
right.
A different standard.
Yeah, the lack of objective standards is the problem. One of the problems.
One of the problems. So we came up with a solution that they come and expect to come up with and we all reach like an overall standard that they will reproduce. And we're going to come pick up our models from them as soon as we can immediately. They'll shelter 10,000 out of the cost while we'll shelter like 5,000. And we get the models back to them as soon as we can.
Good.
It will bury everything.
Okay, so the main thing is you don't want the people higher up to know about this problem. You want to solve it and then hide it, if at all possible, so that everybody knows that you're working together for the good of the company. And you agreed to share 2/3, 1/3? Was that?
Yeah.
5,000.
5,000 to 10,000. Okay, that's good. Anybody else come close to a resolution, or were you still in the negotiating phase? Okay. It's not an impossible issue, but you've got to talk through it, and you've got to get over who's at fault. I kept hearing group after group after group, it's your fault, no, it's your fault. You know, how can it be our fault? It leaves our factory fine. Well, it could be your fault because you may have faulty testing equipment, you may have bad inspectors, there may be something in the transportation that may not be packed properly, so that as it crosses the bumpy roads, it may be too sensitive material. Until you figure out what is the cause, and that usually takes technical people from both of the plants working together to solve the question, why the heck is this stuff dying at a higher rate than it should be? Why is it defective? At that point, then you can get into the fairness role. But if you start right away saying, not my fault, it's your problem, fix the dang thing, you're just going to have loggerheads, loggerheads, loggerheads. So this is an exercise that is not competitive. It starts out being competitive, but it really is a cooperative exercise that shows in most business problems within a company and outside the company, you can solve the problem first and then worry about paying for it. Also, I gave this exercise to show you that as things get more complex, it requires more sophistication in terms of your communication. So, before we close, what is the one or two takeaways from the day? If you were to try to say, what was it over the last 2.5 hours that I want to take with me as a kernel of knowledge going forward? Let's have somebody from back here, up here, and back there.
Do not mix your emotions with the subject, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's hard to do for some people.
Yeah.
Some people culturally can do it. That's a good takeaway. What do we have up front? What's the takeaway?
Identify the problem before trying to solve it.
Okay, identify the problem before you solve it.
Yeah, I think active listening is very good to solving like conflict and negotiation.
Yeah, active listening is hard to do. The smarter you are, the less likely you are to listen. And it's really hard. I talked to old friend the other day who used to be a lawyer, then he became a minister, now he's raising alpacas. And I said, what was wrong with your church? He said, the problem with religion is not the church, it's the people. So he had decided that the people problem was too big for him in the church environment.
Well, I learned like to separate the problem from the people and deal with them separately.
Yeah.
Because if you make them tangled,
Yeah. Now that should work very well in your boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, right? It's real hard to do when you live with somebody 24/7 to separate the people from the problem.
And you should also consider the future relationship between like both parties.
Yeah. Don't try to buy that relationship. Anything else? Did you all enjoy it?
Yes.
Fun exercises? I teach a whole course on this to my MBA students, and we start with that simple exercise on the first day. By the 15th day, we have so much paper around that they have to work with their calculators for hours to try to solve the problem. Yeah. One other thing?
Yeah, I wanted to say that it's always good not to try to get the last penny out of the range which we find is reasonable.
Yeah. The range is important. Those are all super takeaways. Once again, I really urge you, even though you have no money yet, to spend the $16 to get into Yes book, or if you have an option of ability in school to take a negotiations course. It's really time well spent and money and effort well spent as well. I've enjoyed working with you all. This has been a fun morning. Thank you all for being here, and enjoy the rest of your time. Oh my goodness.
Listen.
This is it?
Yeah. On behalf of these wonderful young ladies and gentlemen, I want to present this to you as a token of appreciation.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. At the presidential level, they call this a grip and grin. Ooh, boy, that's pretty. Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it.
They would like a group picture with you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
You have 15 seconds to get a picture. 15 milliseconds. 10, 9, 8.
That's not how sex is.
I want to be in the front row with all the good-looking women.
That means I'm supposed to get one. Get tight. I don't like y'all to go out of that range. I know you're not trying to go there. Just come squeeze right here. There you go. All right.
Okay, you got it?
I got it.
Okay.
Ready? Cheese.
Yes.
One more with this camera here.
Back up.
See these fancy ones, I don't have to do so far. Ready?
Cheese.
There we go.
Great.
Lovely. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you.
Okay, those of you who didn't sign these, come and sign them quick. This is real quick. There's 2 of them. quick. You have 20 seconds to do this. Those who didn't have to turn in their surveys from the desk here. These are the surveys for today. Take one and pass it down.